Welcome back, students. Here is the next question, that is problem number 17 in the books of lesser. So as in the previous video we talked about journal entries and ledger accounts to be prepared in the books of lesser, that is owner. So hope you understood with that. And now next, starting on with the question, let's start with this. So the question states, Hindustan Limited had patented a quick boiling kettle and gave the domestic appliance company the right to manufacture and sell under a license for 7 years. So who has been taken a patent rights for an boiling kettle? Hindustan Limited. So this person will be the owner, or you can take it as a lessor. For whom he is giving? He is giving it to the domestic appliance. So this person is a lessee. Understood? Okay. Now what next thing? The stipulated terms were as follows. The royalty of ₹8 to be paid on each kettle. What is the royalty for the each kettle that is produced? ₹8. The minimum payable, that is minimum rent. The minimum rent payable of ₹40,000 per month. What is the minimum rent payable? 40,000 per month. The right to deduct in the following 2 years any excess of the minimum rent over the calculated royalty is any year. So what is that? The right to deduct in the 2 following years. So if you have incurred the short workings in the present year, means you will be having the next 2 years time for the purpose of recovering the short workings. So short workings is in 2001, means you have the time period of 2002 and 2003 for the recovery of the short workings. Understood? This is floating recoupment method. So what is the time period? 2 following years. Next, the number of kettles sold. They are given about the sales value now. Okay. Year ended 31st March 1998. They have been produced or sold 4,000 kettles. They are sold 4,000 kettles. In the year 1999, they are sold 4,500 kettles. In the year 2000, they are sold for 5,400. This is 4,004. That is 4,500. In the year 2001, they are sold 6,500 kettle. So now pass the journal entries for 4 years for the above transaction in the books of Hindustan Limited with the necessary journal entries. So Hindustan Limited is a lesser. So you need to see this. So in the books of lesser, we need to pass the journal entries. So for that purpose, what is the first thing you need to do? The first thing is that you need to prepare the table of analysis. So how to prepare with the table of analysis? So everyone must be sure about preparing the table of analysis by this time. So then see, you will be writing first years and all the outputs. So now you need to calculate the royalty. How to calculate the royalty? Royalty ₹8 per kettle. So 4,000 multiplied by 8, 32,000. 4,500 multiplied by 8, 36,000. 5,400 multiplied by 8, 43,200. 6,500 multiplied by 8, 52,000. So calculated with royalty. Next you need to write the minimum rent. So what is the minimum rent given in the question? That is 40,000. Return with the minimum rent, and then if there is any surplus, you need to write in the first year the minimum rent is more than royalty. So this time you are incurring at a short workings. Who is incurring the short workings? The lessee is incurring the short workings. If it is a short workings for lessee, means it is a short working suspense for lesser. Okay. So now short workings 8,000. So short workings recovered, nothing in the first year, no recovery. So what you will be paying? You will be paying whatever the amount is there, that is minimum rent, to the, that is lesser, or to the person who has the patented right, that is Hindustan Limited. So even in the second year also, the royalty is less than minimum rent. So you have short workings of 4,000, but you will be paying, even though you have a short workings of 4,000, 40,000 will be paid to the lesser. So table of analysis will be calculated accordingly to the lessee itself. Now it will be same. Done. So next is next case. In the next case, in the year 2000, that is short working, that is minimum rent is less than royalties. You have surplus of 3,200. So now you need to, what happens when there is a surplus? When there is a surplus, you need to write off the other, in the previous year's short working. So let's see for the first year short workings. What is the first year short workings? 8,000. So out of 8,000 you will be recovering only 3,200. 8,000 minus 3,200 under 4,800 is irrecoverability, because the time period for recovering these short workings of first year or the first 1 year is 2 years. So for recovering 1998's short workings, the time period given is until 2002, right? So now at the end of the 2002 you will be saying that as irrecoverability. But for this 4,000 rupees of 1999 you can recover till 2001. So you have time period for this. So next will be paying whatever the minimum rent is there. So next year, in the year of 2001, there is a short workings, that no short workings, there is a surplus because minimum rent is less than royalty. So you have surplus of 2,000. So what you will do with this 2,000? First, with the value of 2,000 you will be writing off this 4,000 of short workings. So this 12,000 you will be writing off 4,000 short workings, written off. Remaining value, once again, 12,000 surplus. Out of this 12,000 you will be writing off 4,000 worth of short workings of 1998. Remaining 8,000 is there, right, in a surplus. So now what you will do? You will 4,000 plus 40,000. You will be paying 48,000 to the landlord. If there was no short workings, means you will be paying exactly whatever the royalty is there. But if there is a short workings in the previous year, you should first see to it that you should recover or not. Can you recover that or not? Okay, understood with this table of analysis. Now next we need to prepare journal entries in the books of Hindustan Limited, that is lesser. So what is the first journal entry you need to prepare? The first journal entry you need to prepare is due entry. So in the due entry, that is two kinds, that is, one is when royalty is less than minimum rent, when royalty is more than minimum rent. First you will be seeing with the first year's table. In the first year, the royalty is less than minimum rent. When royalty is less than minimum rent, what is the entry you will be passing? You will be passing the first entry, lessee's account debtor to short working suspense account to royalty receivable account. See, I will written lessee. Who is the lessee here? The domestic appliance is the lessee, right? So lessee's account debtor, short working surplus account to royalties account. You will be first whatever the lessee has paid for you. You are preparing. Take for example, you are the lessor, you are the owner. First you will be recording whatever he has paid for you. 40,000 he has paid. So from he has written 8,000 as a short workings. You will be writing in his account as a short workings. But for you it is a suspense. This short workings is a suspense because you don't know when that person will recover that short workings, right? So you will be transferring that 8,000 to short working suspense account, and you will be writing whatever the actual royalty that has been earned in the particular year, that is to royalty receivable account 32,000. So being royalty receivable due. First, after due entry, what is the next entry you need to pass? You need to pass the payment, that is receivable entry. You are the owner, you will be taking the money, you will be taking the receivable entry. What is the receivable entry? That is bank account debtor to lessee's account. Yes, see here, what is the receivable entry? Bank account debtor to lessee's account. Who is lessee? To domestic appliance account, being royalty receivable received. You will be writing, you will be receiving 40,000 completely, right? So you will be writing as 40,000 first, but in the first case only you will be splitting that whatever the royalty you received, but you are receiving, you will be writing exactly what amount you have been received. So the next is, what is the next entry here? Next entry is when royalty received transfer. For transferring the royalty received to the P&L account. What is the entry for that? Royalty receivable account debtor to profit and loss account. So what is the exact royalty you received? The exact royalty you received, whenever you write royalty receivable, you will be writing what is the exact royalty you earned in a particular year. So royalty receivable account 32,000 to P&L account 32,000. So other value where you transfer? You transfer it to the short working suspense account. Done. So this is about this royalty being royalty receivable transfer. So what is the next fourth entry? The fourth entry is when royalty transferred of short workings recovered, when transfer of short workings recovered. So in this case, in the first year, you can see there is no short workings recovered, right? No, sorry, there is no short workings irrecovered, so there is nothing, no entry for that. Done for the first year 3 entries. Now you will be writing, you will be passing the entry for the second year. For even for the second year it will be same, because there is no recoverability, there is short working, there is royalties less than minimum rent. So in the second you will see the royalty is less than minimum rent. When royalty is less than minimum rent, what is the due entry? You will be passing domestic appliance account data to short working suspense account to royalty receivable account. What is the royalty you actually received? 40,000. Yes, so domestic appliance account, that is 40,000. How much is the short working suspense? You will be taking it as 4,000 is the short working suspense account, 4,000. And exact royalty, what is the exact royalty you received on a particular year? That it is royalty that is earned by the lessee, that is 36,000. You will be writing 36,000. After writing the due entry, what is the next entry you need to prepare? The next entry is for receiving the royalty. What is the entry for receiving the royalty? Bank account data to that is domestic appliance accounts. Here in this case you are receiving exactly 40,000, so you will be writing 40,000 rupees being royalties receivable received. So after that, what is the entry? Third entry is for transfer of royalty to P&L account. What is the entry for transfer of royalty to P&L account? Royalties receivable account data to profit and loss account. So exactly what the royalty you received, you will be writing that, not what is the amount you received. You will be writing here the royalty earned for the particular year. That is, what is the royalty earned for the particular year? 36,000. Yes, 36,000 you have been entered here. Understood? With the third, that is for second year, done with the second year. Now you need to go for third year. So what is the case? In the third year, the case is the royalty is more than minimum rent. So when the royalty is more than minimum rent, the due entry differs. What is the due entry when royalty is more than minimum rent? Royalty lessee's account data, short working suspense account data to royalty receivable account. So what is the entry you have been written? See, lessee is a domestic appliance account data, short working suspense account data to royalty receivable account. So one second. Yes, in the year 2000, that is this is 2000 or 2020, this is 2000. The year 2000, the first due entry is correct. That is for when royalty is more than minimum rent, lessee's account, that is domestic appliance account data, short working suspense account data to royalty receivable. So whatever the money you received from domestic appliances, you will be recording. So what is the money you received from domestic appliances? That is 40,000. So you will be recording that 40,000. And what is the short working suspense account? That is the money which the lessee recovered. So he has recovered 3,200. So the money you have been transferred from to the short working suspense account, from that money you will be paying now. From that money you will be showing it. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಸಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವಾಗ ಅವ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್. When royalty is more, when that person lessees recovers the royalty, that is the short workings means you will be recording whatever the amount that has been recovered and exactly what is the royalty receivable, what is the royalty you earned on that particular year. What is the royalty earned on that particular year? 43,200 was the royalty earned. From that you were received only 40,000 for the purpose of royalty, and 32,000 was deducted by the lessee for the purpose of that is short workings, which was incurred in the first year. Okay, the second entry was for payment receivable, that is for royalty receivable. This I have been not written, so please do understand down. You should be writing here. So what is the entry for receiving the money? For receiving the money, the entry is bank account data to domestic appliance account. Bank account data to domestic appliance account. So what is the actual money you received as a royalty here? The actual money received on a royalty is rupees 40,000 in the year 3. That is year 3 you are received 40,000. You will be writing. What will be the narration for this? Being royalty receivable received, being royalty receivable received. Okay, so this is for the year 2000. Done. This is the second entry, and the third entry is for transfer of royalty that I have written here. What is the entry for transfer? Short working suspense account data to P&L account. So whatever the royalty you have received, you need to transfer it to the P&L account. The entry you have written, what is the royalty you have actually received, or it is the royalty you received, that is 4,800. The fourth entry is for transfer. Sorry, yes, third entry is for transfer. What is the transfer entry? Royalties receivable account data to where you are transferring to profit and loss account. So what is the actual royalty you received? The actual royalty receivable is 43,200. The entry is 43,000 is the amount. So the narration for this will be being short, that is royalty receivable transferred, being royalty receivable transferred. Okay, understood. This is the third entry in the year 2000. And then the last entry is, you can see here, first entry, due entry is done. The second is the entry for the bank, that is receiving, done. And then for transfer it is done. And in the year 3 you have, there is a short workings irrecoverability, right? In the year 3 there is a short workings irrecoverability. Now you need to pass an entry for irrecoverability. What is the entry for irrecoverability? Short working suspense account data to profit and loss account. So here done the entry. So here this short working suspense account data to profit and loss account. This is the fourth entry, 4,800. So whatever the short working suspense that was irrecoverable by the person lessee, that will be a profit for you. Where you will transfer that? You will be transferring to the P&L account. What was the amount that lessee couldn't recover? 48, that is 4,800. So that 4,800 you will transfer from, so you have been put at the money in the short working suspense account. So now you are transferring the money from short working suspense account to your P&L account as a profit. So when there is a profit, when there is a income, you will be crediting in the P&L account, right? So to P&L account. Understood? With this third year, I have been messed out with this two entries. Okay, done. And then now we will be going for the year 4. So as you can see, in the year 4 the royalty is more than minimum rent. Whenever the royalty is more than minimum rent, what is the entry for that? Due entry, domestic appliances account data, short working suspense account data to royalties receivable account. And notice whatever the actual money you have been received, you will be writing in domestic appliances account, that is the lessee's account, 48,000. So what is short working suspense account? So now whenever there is a more than royalty is more than minimum rent, whatever the surplus is there, from that surplus the lessee will be taking off the money for recovering the short working. So from the money you have been transferred to suspense account, you will be giving off that money, you will be debiting from that money. So how much is the money which was recovered? 4,000. So from short working suspense account 4,000 to royalty receivable amount, actual royalty received on that particular year. Understood with the due entry? After the due entry, what you need to prepare? You need to prepare a royalty receivable account. So what is the entry for royalty receivable? Bank account data to domestic appliances account, being royalty receivable received. So whatever the money you have received, you will be writing that 48,000. And then finally, what is the entry is? The entry is for transferring the royalty for P&L account. What is the entry for transferring the royalty? Royalty receivable account data to profit and loss account. So what is the actual royalty have been received, that you will be writing over here. It is 52,000 being royalty receivable transfer. So there is no irrecoverability of royalty, right? That is irrecoverability of royalty short workings by the lessee. So no entry, no fourth entry. Understood with the journal entries? Now we'll be passing on to the ledger accounts. So in the ledger account, what is the first ledger account we will be preparing? The first ledger account is royalty receivable account. So here in the royalty receivable account, first you will be writing what is the royalty you have actually received in the year 1. So in the year 1, whatever the royalty you have been received, whatever the royalty that was earned, so LLD royalty receivable anta bardidira. So here you have been credited by royalty receivable account. So the royalty receivable account, first we will be writing by domestic appliances account or lessee's account. So whatever the royalty you have been received, that is what is the actual royalty earned on a year 1. So by domestic appliances account 32,000. So you will do, what you will do with this amount, you will be transferring to the P&L account, to profit and loss account 32,000. So that is 32,000 done with first years, and then coming on to the next year same as it is. So by domestic appliances account, yes, 36,000 you have been received, 36,000 you will be transferring to the P&L account. So when royalty is more than minimum rent, what you will do, first you will be exactly writing whatever the money you have received from the domestic appliances, that is 40,000 right in the year 3, by domestic appliances account 40,000, and short working suspense account, the money which you have been recovered, if there is any that not you have been recovered, the lessee has recovered means you need to write that one also. If you want, you can see with the ledger accounts format, by short working suspense account 3,200. Exactly what amount you will be transferring to P&L account, 33,200, that is for year 3. So coming on to the year 4, same, even here you have a royalty receivable is 48,000 and you are recovered, so that is short workings recovered by the lessee is a suspense for you, and then whatever the money you have been transferred. So by domestic appliances account 48,000, by short working suspense account the money which was recovered by lessee 40,000, so you will be transferring it to profit and loss account 52,000. So next coming on to short working suspense account. So when to prepare the short working suspense account, what the entries you will be recording. So in the short working suspense account, whenever there is a short workings in a particular year, or if there is a short workings recovery in the particular year, or in there is any short workings irrecoverability in the particular year, you will be passing on the entry. So in the first year you can see there is a short workings of 8,000. So these 8,000 how you will be recording in the ledger account. So first, for by domestic appliance account you will be crediting 8,000. So you can write it, and then you will be balancing figure, you will be taking it to the next year. So this 8,000 you are taking it for the next year, because you could not recover that rupees 8,000 rupees, right? Whatever the short workings is there in the year 1 you could not recover, so you will be taking that balancing figure to the next year, that is for 1/4/1998. Understood? This was for 31st March 1998. While writing this, please be careful. Next year while taking, you will be writing as 1/4/1998. On the next year's first day itself, you will be transferring, you will be recording the books of accounts, alva. So why? Whatever the thing in the end of the year you have been transferred, you have brought down, in the next year's first date you will be recording 1/4/1998. And then you will be seeing for the second year. The second year, at the end of the second year, that is 31st March 1999, there is a short workings of 4,000. Now you will be recording in the short working suspense account. By domestic appliance account 4,000 rupees was there. So first is 8,000 of previous years and present year. So both you couldn't recover, so you will be carrying down for the next year, that is brought down or carried down, sorry, is carried down, that will balancing figure for the next year. So you can see 12,000 brought to the next year. So in the year 3 there is no short workings, but you have recovered the short workings, and there is also irrecoverability. How to record that? So when there is a recovery of short workings, and the credit side, first you will be writing by royalty receivable account, by royalty, whatever the royalty was to be received from the lessor, because you are preparing the books of lessor, whatever the royalty to be received by the lessor has been taken for the purpose of recovering the short workings. How much they have taken? That they have taken 3,200 recorded. And also there was a loss, that was recoverability for the lessee, but that is a profit for you, so you are debiting that. So to profit or loss account 4,800, and remaining 4,000 of the second year, which was included in this 12,000, you have one more year of time for that, so you will be taking down for the next year by writing balance carried down, balancing figure, because ಈ 4,000 ಬಂದು 1999, because you had one more year time for this first year's thing, we are not having time, so you are transferring it to the P&L account. But for this 4,000 you have a time, so you will be transferring for the next year by balance brought down 4,000. So as you can see, in the year 4 you have recovered the 4,000 rupees. So to royalty receivable account, from where this lessee person recovered the short workings, he recovered the short workings by the royalty amount, right, the surplus of royalty. So ನನಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ರಿಸೀವಬಲ್ ಇಂದ ಅವರು ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟು ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ರಿಸೀವಬಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ 4,000 rupees, you will be debiting 4,000. So done, closed with the ledger accounts, done with the short working suspense account. So next you will be preparing domestic appliance account to whatever you can take it as a lessee's account. So that lessee for whom this person has given, this Hindustan Limited has given the patent rights of the kettle. In this account, what is the entry you will be writing? First you will be crediting by bank account. So by bank account, whatever the money you have received, 4,000 rupees, and then that is 40,000 rupees. Then from what way this 40,000? So from 8,000 you will be taking, you took it as a short working suspense, and then remaining 32,000 was actually from royalty receivable. Actual royalty receivable was 32,000. So the minimum rent was more, so to cope up with this minimum rent, he paid 8,000 short workings for you. That you will be taking as a short working suspense. The owner will be taking that as a short working suspense. So to short working suspense account 8,000, to royalty receivable account 3,200, done with the first year. So coming on to the second year, what is the actual royalty received? That is 4,000 by bank account 40,000. So how got? That is 4,000 as short working suspense, and 36,000 is the actual royalty received. Done. You will be, please, here the dates will be same, 1933, 1999, 33, that is 31st March 1999. So next coming on to 31st March 2002 by bank account, what is the actual royalty received? That is 40,000. you will be recording the 40,000. So here there was no short workings over here, so actually what you received was the actual royalty, no suspense. As that short workings and all is not there, there is a recoverability, but in the domestic appliances account we will not be writing that, because we have written already that in a royalty receivable and the suspense account. So actually where you received is 40,000 from actual royalty receivable to royalty receivable 40,000. So in the next year by bank account, what is actual royalty received? 48,000. From where? To royalty receivable. Even there was no short workings account, to royalty receivable account 48,000. So this is all about the problem number 17 in the books of lesser. Hope you have been understood with this. Any doubts, please to ask me. Thank you.